Hey, Futurist Jim Carroll. I'm not down in the virtual broadcast studio. I'm outside. It's outside in Ontario. 17 degrees today. Little tease of sunshine and warmth before it gets evil and sends us back into some cold. But this made me think about a project I did in 2004 for the Banana Boat Suntan Lotion Company called It's In to Be Out. I just did a blog post about it. The link is in the video. But I'm actually going to play this 15-minute clip from 2004 where I'm on stage talking about outdoor trends. In a really cool shirt. I just thought this was kind of fun because the sun's out and it's all about the outdoors and we get to go back outside soon. So hope you enjoy it.
I'd like to introduce the special guest speaker that we have here, Mr. Jim Carroll. He lives in Canada with his family, his wife and children. He is a trend forecaster. He is an award-winning columnist. In fact, I'm told he's one of the 50 international names to know. He's an accomplished author. He's going to talk to us today about how consumers alter their lifestyles to be outdoors and the top 10 reasons why it's in to be out. Jim Carroll.
Great shirt here. I'm flying to San Diego this afternoon. I've got a presentation tomorrow, so timing is perfect. Now I'm on the speaker circuit. This is essentially what I do. I do some 60 to 80 to 100 events per year. Somebody asked me once, what do you do for a living? And I thought for a moment, I said, well, let's put it this way. I go in and I talk to large groups of hungover people. Because often it's a sales conference. Now you're a little bit fresh today. I can imagine you by the third day, it's going to be a little bit of a challenge. I talk about trends, I talk about the future, I talk about innovation. And to give you an idea of what I do, I was with the head office of Daimler Chrysler last week, talking to them about the big trends that are going to shape the global auto industry into the future. A couple months ago, I was with the sales force for Nestle's snack food division, talking about the 10 trends that are rocking the retail world. And for you, I want to talk about the 10 reasons why it's in to be out. The 10 trends that are causing people to spend more time outside in the future rather than less time. Now, essentially what I do for a living is, I work out of a home office. I've been working at home for 18 years. I've got this great shot on my website. I get up in the morning, put on a suit and tie, and go sit out by the pool. I will actually work outdoors in the sun for quite some time. My wife has been working with me at home for 15 years. And my sons, they've grown up in this very unique environment, which mommy and daddy are around. We have a home office, we work outside. When the first one went to kindergarten, we had to explain to him that most mummies and daddies went out to work every day, because he thought this was the normal course of events. So what I did when I began working with Gene and the Banana Boat crew was I cast my mind into the future. I looked at some statistics, some surveys, some trends, to try to understand what is going on out there in the world that might lead to people spending more time rather than less time outdoors. And the reason this could be important is because this is an opportunity for innovation. Innovation isn't just about the new product that you're bringing out. Innovation is about how you're looking at your marketplace, how you're looking at your stores, how you're looking at retailers, how you're looking at new potential retailers to determine where there might be new market opportunities. So let's walk through the list. Number one, the emergence of outdoor living spaces. One of the trends that we are seeing with residential construction today and residential renovation, and renovation is huge, it's one of the fastest growing markets in the US, is we are seeing the integration of the outdoor living space with the indoor living space. We're seeing the emergence of outdoor living rooms. And there's some fascinating statistics. 91% of new pool owners, when they put in a pool, will put in an outdoor kitchen as part of what they do. And I don't know if you've seen some of these devices, but you can now buy a $40,000 barbecue. It's got built-in TVs and MP3 players and stereos and everything you need. We're seeing this very real trend where what people are doing is they're integrating their indoor lifestyle with their outdoor lifestyle. When you cast your mind to innovation, you begin to think there's individuals spending more time outdoors. Is there an opportunity for me to begin placing product in innovative in-house displays in home hardware stores? Because people are starting to integrate their indoor and their outdoor life. What's also related to this trend is the blooming of what we would call exterior decorators. Interior decoration is out, exterior decoration is in. When we're building an outdoor living space like this, we're doing all kinds of fascinating things in terms of the design, in terms of the furniture, in terms of the way that we're integrating the in with the out. And so we are seeing the emergence of an entire new profession, an entire new sort of capability. Not landscape architects, not folks who do traditional landscaping, but folks who are involved in designing the outdoor space. The third trend has to do with the boomers. And I mean, the numbers of the boomers are absolutely fascinating. 76 million baby boomers. And the first of them begin to retire pretty darn soon. And the thing is, this is the generation that has never done what has been expected of them all the way through. And these folks are going to refuse to grow old gracefully. I love my parents, and the traditional path was, eventually you move them into a senior citizen home, they stay in their home, and eventually move into a senior citizen home. This generation is not going to do this. I think that the phrase that I've coined for them is they are going to live out an era of perpetual adolescence. The average age of a Harley user, motorcycle driver today is 56 years old. And if you look at some of the cars, convertibles, it's the boomers who are buying them. They are doing things in terms of sports, in terms of an active lifestyle, in terms of the way they are going to live out their retirement years, where they are perpetual adolescents. And that will involve a lot more outdoor time than we've seen with previous generations of that age. Trend number 4 has to do with the other end of the spectrum. There's 76 million baby boomers, there's 46 million Gen Xers, there's 78 million Gen Ys. And what they are doing is they are forming this new relationship with the outdoor world. They're taking the technology that they've grown up with and they're making it a part of their outdoor universe. Now, we're a skiing family. We ski north of Toronto every single weekend. We get in about 4 months of skiing, spend a huge amount of time outside. And I was standing in the lift line one day, and there's a kid with one of these new Burton jackets on. I don't know if you've seen it, but a Burton jacket, and it's got the MP3 player, the iPod controls, built right into the sleeve with the helmet, with the headphones built right in. You just hope this snowboarder, isn't going to be coming down directly behind you, listening to his music, not thinking of what he's doing. But that's an example of how they are taking technology to transform their universe. And I think one of the most fascinating trends will be is that their concept of where work happens is going to be very different from the traditional 9-to-5 world. It's going to be very different from individuals going into offices. They're going to be much more collaborative, much more willing to form work teams, and where they're using technology to spend some time of their work time in the outdoors. Trend number 5, extremely extreme sports. A fascinating thing has happened through the last 15 years is we've had the emergence of the global internet. And what has happened is that new ideas can be shared on an instant. New ideas can be shared globally amongst people who share an interest and a passion in some type of unique topic. It's happening with science, it's happening with healthcare, and it's happening with sports. Several years ago, some folks started up a sport called sandboarding. And the whole concept is you take a specially designed surfboard, and rather than going in the water, you find some sand dunes and you go zipping down the dunes. 15 years ago, these folks located worldwide would never have been able to find each other. They would never have even known that each other exists. But all of a sudden with the web, they can put up a website about their sandboard club, about their sandboard adventure. They can start a weblog where they're talking about sandboarding. And all of a sudden, sandboard enthusiasts in the Carolinas, in California, in Australia, in Africa, and elsewhere become part of a huge global sport. And what that does is it fuels greater interest in the sport, so that we're seeing the emergence of extremely extreme sports faster than ever before. I found one of the most bizarre ones. It's called zorbing. Has anybody ever seen zorbing? They get this great big inflatable ball. You put yourself inside the great big inflatable ball. You've got a little thing to hook your feet in, and you hold onto the handles, and you roll down the hill. And these sports are taking off at an absolutely ridiculous pace because the younger generation has more of a sense for doing something really enthusiastic outside, and because we have this new opportunity for ideas to be shared on a global basis in ways that never previously existed. Trend number 6, massive geographic relocation. And again, this goes back to what's happening with the boomers. 76 million boomers beginning to retire. And what is going to happen, it's predicted by the year 2015, there will be 37 U.S. states that will have the demographic makeup of the state of Florida today. Now, I don't know if you ever landed at West Palm Beach Airport, but I've never been met by so many wheelchairs at a flight in my life. It was unbelievable. It was just like a whole squadron of wheelchairs coming to meet the flight. The demographic makeup of Florida is already the retirement state. 37 states by 2015 are going to have the same demographic makeup as boomers begin to retire. And boomers are moving to these states. And you know where these states are? They are primarily the southwestern and sunshine states. So also we have this massive geographic relocation from the northeast down to all the places where it's sunny and it's warm as boomers begin to move into their golden years. And as I said, they're going to be very active boomers, perpetual adolescents. And so you begin thinking in terms of geographic markets. Where are you going to see new potential demand as this very active generation gets involved with the outdoor world? Trend number 7. Work-life balance fuels more outdoor time. You know what is so fascinating about the younger generation? They have completely different concepts of what it is when it comes to a career. I spent some time at a landscape architecture company, and they were talking about the recruiting challenges that they're having in hiring young engineers. You know, they did a survey of engineering students in the US, and they asked them, what's a long-term career? And these kids came back and said, well, 2 to 5 years. 2 to 5 years. What is happening here is we have a generation that values their life more than their work. And this engineering firm that was having problems recruiting people, they encountered one kid they really wanted to hire him. They were out in the ski resort area. And the kid said, oh, I'm not coming into work at 9 a.m. There's fresh power on the hills. I'm going to work until 3. I will come in at 3 and I will use technology and I'll work in the office for a little while and then I will go home and I will continue my work there. I'll get my work done. Don't be stressed about it. But I'm not coming into work when there's fresh power on the hills. And what is happening here is a completely different perspective on what work is, where work takes place, how work is performed. I'm already doing this by working at home for 18 years. Do you know that I'm in my pool at least 4 times a day because of the way I structure my day around my unique living space? Trend number 8. Vocation vacations. What's happening with a lot of folks are folks are becoming bored by the traditional vacation. Folks are thinking, if I'm going to take a vacation, I want to do something that is very unique, and I want to do something that is like doing a different career. I want to learn. So we are seeing the emergence of vacations, which might involve actually working on a horse ranch for a couple of weeks, or actually going to a vineyard and working on a vineyard as just one of the deckhands in the vineyard for a couple of weeks or a week or so. Vacations that involve a completely different type of career activity. Because people are looking for stimulus, they want more excitement, they want something that is of a greater degree of interest. Trend number 9, which is causing people to spend more time outdoors, energy costs and drought. Oil briefly hit $60 yesterday. And I think we all understand that the years that we're going into are becoming far more challenging than they have been in the past. We are going to have much more of a focus in the sun, much more of a focus on alternative energy sources. You ever been to Palm Springs and seen the wind farm there? It's absolutely beautiful to see as you drive in. Very dangerous because you're driving along looking at the darn thing, but it is amazing to see. And I think what is beginning to happen, the trend that is going to occur through the future, is we're going to start establishing a new relationship with the sun. Because we're going to increasingly view it as a means of dealing with some very difficult circumstances that are upon us. Trend number 10, the get fit mentality. It's funny, I spend a lot of time with consumer product companies focused in the food sector, and they're all low carb out at this point. They're all, what happened with low carb and, the fat of low carb, and they're looking at their results for the year and what it meant. It wasn't a great year because we knew it was a fad. But the very real trend for food companies is healthy food. Heart healthy food. Food that helps us live better. Food that helps us live longer. Food that helps us make intelligent decisions with respect to our lifestyle. And that's part of this whole unique trend where individuals are realizing more and more that we need to be fit. We need to stay fit. And what this trend has to do with the outdoors, we continue to see massive growth in the traditional outdoor activities such as cycling, rollerblading, and everything else. You know, it's fascinating when you look at what is going on in the world, when you examine the outdoor trends, when you examine the trends that are causing, you know, people to forge a new relationship with the sun. And you realize all the different ways that this is happening, then you can sit back and you can rethink what innovation is. Innovation is not just about bringing new products to the market. Innovation is not just the new products being released through the next year. Innovation is about what you are doing within the channel space and within the retail space to try to identify new opportunities, new ways of thinking, new ways of reaching the consumer who continues to change and who continues to form this new relationship with the sun and who in many ways has truly discovered that it's in to be out. Thank you very much.